Former Minister of Petroleum Resources, Mrs. Diezani Alison-Madueke, has prayed a federal high court, Abuja, to vacate an order granted to the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC, for final forfeiture of her seized assets. Alison-Madueke, in an originating motion, sought an order extending the time within which to seek leave to apply to the court for an order to set aside the EFCC's public notice issued to conduct public sale on her property. The News Agency of Nigeria, AN, reports that the Anti-Corruption Agency had planned to conduct public sale of all assets seized from Alison-Madueke beginning from January 9 as contained in its public notice following various court judgments, orders issued in favor of the Commission as final forfeiture orders against property and personal effects of the former minister. But in the motion marked FHC ABJ CS 21/2023 dated and filed January 6 by her lawyer, Chief Michael Zekome, San, before Justice Inyang Eko, the ex-minister sought 5 orders from the court. While Alison-Madueke is the applicant, the EFCC is the sole respondent in the suit. The former minister, who argued that the various orders were made without jurisdiction, said these ought to be set aside ex debito justitiae. She said she was not given fair hearing in all the proceedings leading to the orders. The various court orders issued in favor of the respondent and upon which the respondent issued the public notice to conduct public sale of items contained in the public notice, most of which caught the interest of the applicant, were issued in breach of the applicant's right to fair hearing as guaranteed by Section 36(1) of the 1999 Constitution, as altered, and other similar constitutional provisions, she said. She argued that she was neither served with the charge sheet and proof of evidence in any of the charge nor any other summons however and whatsoever in respect of the criminal charges pending against her before the courts. She further argued that the courts were misled into making several of the final forfeiture orders against her assets through suppression or non-disclosure of material facts. The several applications upon which the courts made the final order of forfeiture against the applicant were obtained upon gross misstatements, misrepresentations, non-disclosure, concealment and suppression of material facts, and this honorable court has the power to set aside same ex debito justitiae, as a void order is as good as if it was never made at all. The orders were made without recourse to the constitutional right to fair hearing and right to property accorded the applicant by the Constitution. The applicant was never served with the processes of court in all the proceedings that led to the order of final forfeiture, she said, among other grounds given. But the EFCC, in a counter-affidavit deposed to by Rufai Zaki, a detective with the commission, urged the court to dismiss Alison-Madueke's application. Zaki, who was a member of the team that investigated a case of criminal conspiracy, official corruption and money laundering against the ex-minister and some other persons involved in the case, said investigation had clearly shown that she was involved in some acts of criminality. He said Alison-Madueke was therefore charged before the court in charge No. FHC ABJ, CR 208/2018. We heavily rely on the charge FHC ABJ, CR 208/2018 dated the 14th of November 2018 filed before this honorable court and also attached as Exhibit C in the applicant's affidavit, he said. The EFCC operative, who said he had seen the ex-minister's motion, said most of the depositions were untrue. He said contrary to her deposition in the affidavit in support, most of the cases which led to the final forfeiture of the contested property were action in rem, same were heard at various times and determined by this honorable court. He said the courts differently ordered the commission to do a newspaper publication inviting parties to show cause why the said property should not be forfeited to the federal government, before final orders were made. Zaki argued that one Nnamdi Awakalu represented the ex-minister in reaction to one of the forfeiture applications. We humbly rely on the judgment of Hon. Justice ILN. Owebo dated the 10th of September 2019 shown in Exhibit C of the applicant's affidavit, he said. The officer said that the contrary to her, the final forfeiture of the assets which were subject of the present application was ordered by the court since 2017 and that this was not set aside or overturned on appeal. According to him, the properties have been disposed of through due process of law. Upon mentioning the matter on Monday, Alison-Madueke's counsel, Oluchi Uche, told Justice Eko that they were just being served by the EFCC on Friday and they would need time to respond to the counter-affidavits. Farouk Abdullah, who appeared by the anti-graft agency, did not oppose and the judge adjourned the matter until May 8 for hearing. NAN reports that Alison-Madueke was the Nigeria's petroleum minister during President Goodluck Jonathan's administration. NAN.